guys any longer than I have to. Mostly Jim, but I don't know.
Yeah, I pride value in business.
Yeah, you're too useful to hate. Jim, on the other hand, Jim's only good for a Mosconi Cup seat buddy once a year.
Well, you're going to lose that pretty shortly as well, you know.
You mop?
Knob.
Oh, you knob. I thought you called me a mop.
Fuck's sake.
That's a much better thing. You know I love you, Jimbo.
Oh, suck a fat one.
No, icky. So who the heck is this Filipino? I've never even heard of him.
Who? Oh, the one in the. I was like, are you talking about me? Like, bro.
No, Jonas Magpante.
Yeah, the one who's just kind of walking through that tournament.
Yeah, who the heck is this guy?
Where did he all of a sudden come from?
Turns out that he's like some taxi driver in the Philippines that
just had a free weekend and decided to go and win the World 10 Ball Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, he found one person to like give him $1,000 to go over there, and then decides it's a good idea to beat Oliver Solnacki and Carlo Beato and Wojtek Szewczak and Niels Fayen and Moritz Neuhausen, and then Kural Sigma. I'm not even going to try it. God damn. How crazy is this? So like the most appropriate thing. Like there's another Polish player that you've never heard of every 2 to 3 events that just comes out of nowhere and makes a magical run. Same with the Filipinos, and here they are in the finals of a pool tournament.
I mean, I don't think, like, generally speaking, when it comes to any sort of sport or anything that takes skill, we're probably not aware of who actually is the best in the world at what they do. Like they say, like, there's chances are the best guitarist you'll ever meet is probably working at a gas station because they won't have the resources or the same opportunities to really be able to flex what they're capable of doing.
I don't know. I feel like that's only the case in like niche things. Because if this ever happened in golf, you'd be like, what? Like, this doesn't happen in golf. Doesn't happen in tennis. Well, I don't think it does anyways. Maybe it does happen in tennis more than I think it does, but I also don't follow tennis that well.
Well, occasionally you get a rookie who wins the Grand Slam kind of thing. You know, Boris Becker, when he won Wimbledon, nobody knew who he was. It was his first Grand Slam, and you know, you occasionally you get somebody who does it in tennis. Golf is a different story because golf is just there's hundreds of players that are playing on the tour all the time, you know, and they're all capable of having one good weekend, you know.
Yeah.
But this guy, you know, every time I saw the updates on the results, I thought, all right, he's going to lose this round, and then he plays Niels. Oh well, that's a good draw for Niels. And then he beats Niels. Oh well, yeah, Moritz will beat him. You know, Moritz is having another good tournament. Moritz will get to this final. No, he gets beat by him as well. Yeah,
he's beating everybody comfortably too. The closest anybody even got to him was, I mean, I guess the finals, but that's to 13. I mean, when it was the races to 11, the closest anybody got was Carlo Beato, and that was 11-8.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that these guys are taking him for granted because they don't know who he is, or do you think that, you know, at that level, there's no such thing as playing down?
I think anytime you see the Filipino flag, I don't think you could take anybody unless it's you, Shawn.
That's fair. I'm Americanized.
I think just pulls a game of fine margins, you know, and if you get a little bit of the run of the ball, he's obviously a very, very, very good player, but there's a lot of very, very, very good Filipinos, you know, and I was actually surprised that there weren't more new names that came through in the Philippines Open and went to the late stages. I thought we'd see a couple in there where you think, all right, never heard of this guy, but he can play as well. But fair play to him. You know, it'd be interesting to see if he can, you know, push on from here, if we'll hear more from him, or if he'll just sort of disappear and go back to driving his taxi or whatever with these 100,000. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, right.
A lot of the top, very, 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 very good Filipinos, they never leave the Philippines because they don't have to, you know. They don't have to win big prize pots over there to make a healthy living, you know.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's tough
11 of the final 64 were Filipino.
Yeah.
I wonder what the equipment is like there. Like, is it easier for them to transition? Like, they're under such weird climate or tough circumstances when they're playing in the Philippines. So when they go to a different country, it's that much easier for them to, play more effectively.
Well, I don't think any tables in the world are play the same as the way they do in the Philippines. If you
Right.
see some
That's what
of
I'm
the
saying though.
videos,
Like, so is it easier when they come to the US? Like, do they just have an immediate advantage because they're wearing ankle weights all the time when they're in the Philippines?
Nah, I think
I don't think
the
so.
the game is such a level of precision that I mean, the difference between winning and losing matches at this highest level is sometimes the total of 6 inches over the course of a match. One of my favorite gambling games, and it's always a really fun one. It's called the hand gamble, and basically what it is like you get to gamble with anybody in the world. You got to play them even up, but you on every single shot you get where the cue ball ends up. You get to use one hand width as far as you want in any direction. So you can move the cue ball closer by one hand length or to the left or to the right. Basically, it guarantees you're never going to get hooked. And you'll be surprised how big of an equalizer that is. I mean, it is absolutely massive to have to make that up. And, when you're talking about like playing on super humid conditions outside with chickens and cats running all over the place in the outside, there's the ability to be able to control those precise, perfect conditions you're going to have in these tournaments. Like it's no possible way it could ever be an advantage. It's
How do you
too
know
much
what
to
my
get used
VR
to.
looks like? Jesus.
I know, right?
I think one of the main things is the mental side of it as well. You never hear about a Filipino player at one of these big tournaments, whether it's Matchroom or WPA. You never hear about them complaining about the conditions, never complaining about it being too warm, never complaining about the tables being a bit bouncy, never complaining about noise or whatever, because they're used to all sorts of conditions, and they've been brought up that way. So they don't get distracted by stuff going on around them. They don't, if one rail on a table's playing a bit bouncy, they just deal with it and they go on with it, and you never hear them moaning about it. It never gets in their heads. They never start.
Yeah, and they add wax to the table anyways.
Yeah, are they? Allegedly. But yeah, so they never get upset by stuff like that, Yeah.
Eklund Kachi's Facebook page is sure something to behold, isn't it?
He doesn't hold back, does he? He's fantastic, brilliant.
He definitely does not hold back. He is not interested in. Well, realistically speaking, what does he have to lose? He's not interested in playing a calendar, anyways, right?
No, don't care.
The events that he wants to play, he's going to be getting invites to.
Yeah,
and he's going to get those through his country. So, what does he care?
No,
he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But no, I guess to wrap up your question, I just don't think that players that are constantly used to the playing conditions that they're playing on regularly, don't get me wrong. The Filipinos are going to have the ability to stroke a ball probably differently than at least the average player because of that. You see the boosty stroke where he engages every single part of his body to get a little extra out of that cue ball. But yeah, I don't know. Going through the bracket, as we've already said, we still have no idea who the heck this guy is. But your Jonas Magpante is your champion.
I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Is that just me?
It is Shawn. Oh, you can't. I can't even hear Shawn at all. Try leaving and joining back in, Shawn. Anyways, Corral Shiman. I don't know.
I think it's basically the equivalent of Karel Simon. Yeah,
Simon. Okay.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that would make sense.
Well, it'll be Shimon or something. Yeah.
Another semifinals for Naoki Oi with another non-first place for him. Moritz Neuhausen in proper form coming into the Mosconi Cup, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. Tobias Bongers, Jericho Bonus, Niels Fine, and Bader Aldawadi make up the quarterfinals. So I would say for an event like this, there's a lot of huge names that just did not make it anywhere near the the finals like you'd expect. Shane goes out in the round of 32. Albin Ocean, the round of 16. Robbie Capito in the round of 32. Carlo Beato, round of 32. Oh, Dang was there. He's out in the round of 32.
Jason didn't even qualify for the 64. Sanchez Ruiz didn't make it through.
He made it to the round of 32. FSR did.
He got beat then by Yannick
Tobias. Yeah, in the round of actually the round of 16.
Yannick. Yeah, by Yannick. Young Dutch kid, very good player. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch I didn't watch hardly any of this. I do think it's interesting that Victor Zielinski now has to play on the white flag.
Well, he's denounced the Polish Federation, hasn't he?
Well, he's denounced the Polish Federation. It doesn't make him not Polish.
No, but he won't be allowed. They will decide that he's not allowed to represent them, I guess. I really don't know the rules in it. If they decide...
that's why I bring it up. I don't know the rules behind it either, but it does seem very, very weird that we're going to have a Polish player not be Polish anymore. Like when Fedor was playing under the white flag, and I mean that made at least a little bit more sense because you're being.
It depends what the flag means. Is the flag your nationality, or is the flag the country you're representing?
There it is. I guess that I didn't think about it that way. You're right. Yeah, that's probably the distinguishing feature, right?
Hmm.
And I guess when you're talking about a World Cup, as this is described, I guess you're kind of representing your country, aren't you? So if you're not representing your country, then you're not, well, that nationality. Just seems weird.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean that's, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. What do you think, Jim?
Couldn't care less. Don't think Victor cares either. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Since last week, then we had I guess the official announcements off of Matchroom. I mean, there was never really a question, I don't think, but the posters are now out for Moritz and Fedor Gorst, Moritz Neuhausen, Sky Woodward,
Jason
Shaw.
That's it.
And that's it for the official announcements.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and throwing some comments out there. Hi, Furlan Custom Cues, John, Lil Chris. Always love Lil Chris. Neil Soloway. What's going on, guys? Anyways, back to it. No surprises so far. I guess there really isn't anything updated. I don't know if, Jim, you want to throw an update out there or not, but
I've reached out to people who should know, who are in the know and should know, and the word I hear is that there is that Filler will 100% be representing Team Europe. So the team will be as it stands there with Pius, Moritz, and Filler in the qualifying spots, and Jason and David Alcaide will make up the team. We just have to wait for Team USA now. Yeah.
And there is probably no decision that's been made on that one yet.
No, well, I thought I'll contact Sky and see if I can poke him a little bit and see if I can get any information out of him. So I had a lengthy little chat with him, and my first question basically was, so who are you going to pick? And his answer was, well, who would you pick? So straight away, it was quite clear that he's not made his decision yet. There's going to be a deadline on it. He's going to have to make his decision pretty soon. It is between three players.
Probably got a couple weeks, which between three players, that shouldn't be really a surprise, right?
Yeah. But we had quite a lengthy chat about it, and I mean, I'm not going to divulge the things that he said, but the things that I said to him. I mean, Mike Pinoza's on here saying, "Who would I pick?" I mean, I put it forward to the Sky. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. You've got three guys. You've got Lucas, you've got Billy, and you've got Oscar. Now, if Lucas being I said to Sky, listen, Lucas, you could pick him, sure. no problem. It would probably be the one that would get you the least amount of negative feedback from the internet.
Well, it would be the least amount of feedback, assuming that he doesn't go out there and absolutely tank.
Yes, okay, but anyone can tank it, you know.
It'd be the least controversial probably before the event.
But for me, Lucas would not be the right pick. I said to Sky, I said, listen, Sky, if you genuinely think, like a lot of people do, that USA could possibly have a good chance this year because Europe have got 2 rookies, then if you genuinely think that, then you'd be an idiot to pick Lucas and put a rookie in your own team. If it's such an advantage to be playing against rookies, why would you put one in your own team as well? And also, I mean, I think if you're going to put a young kid in there for the very first time, you do it on American soil. You don't do it in Ali Pali. I mean, that European crowd are pretty brutal. And if you stick a rookie out there, then all eyes and all focus is going to be on him from the first ball he gets up to. I don't know him that well. I've seen him play. He's a good player. I don't know how strong he is mentally and how thick his skin is. But if that European crowd gets underneath your skin, you could fall apart pretty quickly, regardless of who you are. And that can have effects for ongoing Mosconi Cups. You know,
we see it happen to Shane almost every year.
You could kill the kid in one foul swoop. You know, I mean, there's been very, very good players that have just not been able to handle Mosconi Cup. You know, you look at Alex Kazakis, he was #1 in the world when he made his debut for Europe. He didn't have a good year and he struggled to get over it. And it's very tough. Jason went out there the first 2 years at Jason Shaw. He's going to go down as a Mosconi Cup legend. His first 2 years were not good. He struggled to get the balance between the mental side of it and the actual playing. You know, the audience participation. He struggled to control his emotions. And okay, he's a kind of character that, you know, he was always going to be kind of built for this. He just had to figure out how to do it properly, you know, which he did after a couple of years. So I mean, I don't think this is the right time for Lucas. And then it's between Billy and Oscar. I asked Sky. I said to him, I said, let's just say you had picked let's just say you had picked Oscar last year. Would your choice this year be easier? And he just laughed. So I mean, I personally think, but this is what I think. This is not what Skylar has said to me. I personally think that he wants to pick Billy again, but he feels like it's going to kick up a big stink that he's picked him 2 years in a row. My take on it is, if you've picked Billy last year, you kind of have to pick him this year because he's better this year than he was last year.
And I mean, last year I think it was the wrong pick. I think he should have picked Oscar.
Yeah, okay, we can discuss
based off of who was playing better.
No, I agree.
But you're right.
Mostly, but if he himself picked Billy last year the way he was playing last year, it's a no-brainer that he should pick him this year as well, because he's actually playing better this year. Oscar hasn't been as active and playing as much, you know, and Lucas is a rookie that you really, in my opinion, you shouldn't be throwing into the lines. You could throw Lucas in and all of it. And I don't know the kid. Maybe he could have an absolute amazing 4 days, and it turns him into one of the strongest US Mosconi Cup players going forward. You don't know, but again, I mean, I'm always a little bit on the side of, you know, stick to what you know. You don't want to be going there with too many unknowns. And like I said, if you believe that Europe having 2 rookies is an advantage for the USA, then you shouldn't pick a rookie yourself if you really think that, you know. So I personally, I mean, to answer to Pinoza's question, I think Billy is the pick. I got no indication from Sky whatsoever that he's actually made a decision. I think he's really struggling with this one. It may come down to him going to the team again and saying, guys, just tell me who you want, you know, and we'll go with that again. But yeah, we see. I see a lot of posts on Facebook saying Oscar deserves it because he didn't get in last year. That's not a reason for me. You know, there's a lot of players that didn't get in last year. You know, or Lucas deserves it because he was number 5 on the ranking. Doesn't matter if you're number 4 or number 5. It's only 1, 2, and 3 that get the space. You know, so it's open up. You're in a vulnerable spot if you're outside the top 3. You know. I mean, other than Tyler Steyer, no rookie has ever been chosen for as a wild card ever. Although Tyler was the only one that was chosen by Johan back in 2018.
2018. Yep, that was the first one I went to.
He's the only rookie that's ever been given a wild card, as far as I'm aware. Apart from the very first year, obviously, when nobody had played.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure if we fact checked you on that, I'm sure there'd be a few that came up. But it takes an extenuating circumstance. I mean, look on the European side. I mean, they literally have 50 players just about that they could pick as a wild card that would be better than who we're talking about right now on the U.S. side of things, right? I don't think it's an exaggeration.
Potentially, they're ranked higher, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a super controversial thing to say that there's 50 players that will never or can never make the Mosconi Cup every single year that would make the team on the U.S. if they were here immediately.
Yeah, okay, yes, correct. How they would perform there, you don't know about anybody until they've actually done it. Doesn't matter how good they are, doesn't matter how many world championships they've won until they've gone out there for the first time. You just don't know.
Yes. That's what I mean is there's 50 players in Europe that were, if they were American tomorrow,
would be
similar to they would be on the team immediately. With that being said, that shows how difficult it is to get picked as a wild card because there's 50 players over there that theoretically could be worthy of playing on the Mosconi Cup that have zero chance because Jason knows the same thing that, the American side of things. You throw a rookie out there and you're playing with fire. Generally speaking, rookies do not perform at a high level unless they're protected quite well.
Yeah.
Things are going smooth. When things are going easy, everything's easy. When things are going rough, that's when things start, tend to fall apart. You might not have that wherewithal to be able to find it in the moment with 5,000 screaming 22,000 screaming fans telling you that you suck and that you're not going to do anything. Because that's pretty much what they end up saying.
Yeah.
It's
and
tough,
you stick Lucas out there, it's going to be a natural target for the guys that are in the crowd. And I got to admit, I hear some stuff in that crowd. I think, guys, just
there's some rough stuff. Yeah, there's some rough stuff.
With
that being said, I do not think that people would. How do I say this? I don't know Lucas super well. It's not like we're besties that hang out on the weekends or anything. But I've had plenty enough interactions with him. I don't think the European crowd likes to pick on people that they can get a reaction from. And they could, they can have a little exchange with. I just don't think that they're going to get anything out of him. I don't think that he's going to give them enough to where he's going to be a fun target for them.
Well, he'll be a fun target if he starts dogging balls.
Yeah,
he won't have to react to the crowd. The crowd will just react to how he plays if they need to.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But going back to what you said about the wild cards, I mean, people go on about the same European players, the same group of European players always getting the wild cards. But it's what you said, that's the only thing that you can use to separate all these players from these European players is, well, have you done it before? And did you do well before? And that's why the same guys get in because they're the guys. They're not
using wild cards on Kazakhstas, right?
Well, that's it. And you're not going to use a wild card on a rookie. You're not going to use a wild card on
or even Kachi. I mean, it's hard to make an argument that Kachi isn't a top 5 player in Europe, and they'll never use a wild card on him. One, because he's not
there's certain people that will not. No.
If I give you the option to take David Al-Qaidi or Albin Ocean or Jason Shaw or Eklund Kachi, he's probably number 4 on your list, right? And you're not going to say that Eklund Kachi is hands down the best player between all 4 of those.
Yeah,
maybe short of David because David has had some pretty good performances in the last year. But I think you'd pretty comfortably say that Eklund's probably the best of those 4, and he's going to be the last to be picked.
Yeah, but because out of those 4, he's not the best. He's not the best at Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, he has not played the best. Correct. Yep.
Yeah, that's my exact point. You pick Jason first every time,
and then Albin number 2, David number 3.
Yeah, that's it.
Albin's probably playing the worst of all 4 of them. Although he did just win a world championship this year.
Doesn't count. It was 8 ball.
Doesn't count. It was 8 ball. Shane might argue with that, but
irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Shawn.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear him again.
No, I mean, I agree. I think Billy's the way to go. I also kind of feel like I'd be curious on what the vote would actually be if you left it to the public. How close of a vote do you think that is? I do think Billy's probably the popular vote there overall.
Well, if you're going to
though.
leave it up to that, then Earl Strickland's getting in.
Well, I mean, it's an exhibition match. Like it feels like it's an exhibition match, a popularity contest already. Like I feel like, if Sky really wanted to, he could post a poll out there for social media to make that decision for him, and just limit the choices to those three.
That would have 50,000 votes in 12 hours.
That would be from a social media standpoint. That's a really good way to get a lot of engagement.
But is
It's
it really?
Is
Is
it a really
it,
good
is
way
it,
of making the great power he has made into a joke?
I
but
mean,
is it also a good idea to let all you American people vote on something? Because that really doesn't normally work out very well. You don't generally get the best one.
I would be curious on what the vote.
Like I said, Earl Strickland would be our fifth.
Yeah,
and tell me I'm wrong.
That'd be like one of those things where people just come together as a community and just troll, and something wild happens.
Yeah, it would either be Earl Strickland or Dominic Dunn.
Oh wow, yeah.
To be honest, I'd probably vote for Dom.
I could see you getting in that vote. You'd be in the top 10 of the vote.
I'd like to see. Listen, we've got quite a few people in the chat now. Just give us one name. Let's see what our chat. Let's see what the Queue Up fans. Let's see what they do. Just give us a name. Who do you think? Billy, Oscar, or Lucas, or anybody else? If you think somebody else,
yeah.
But make it a serious one. Don't put in stupid names like Nate.
Hey, I'd be a great player.
Take your cue with you. They might need you.
I've tried playing those pockets. I can't play in those pockets.
I feel like
no chance.
Justin Bergman would be a good name if you could just pick anybody out of there that would be, like doesn't have to have the qualifications or whatever the criteria. I think the best player out there that would be a great player for Mosconi would be Justin Bergman.
I agree, but
no. Completely.
There's one stipulation. Every player in Mosconi Cup has to be a WNT pro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You said just throw a name out there. You didn't say that it had.
Well, even still,
somebody who can't be picked. Then
no chance that's true. Yes, that was absolutely true in 2020, 2021, maybe even 2022. But you cannot tell me that you can just take 5, 6, 7 years off of playing professional pool and just go back out there.
He's not taken off. I see him on TV all the time playing Ultimate Pool 8-ball.
A bar table 8-ball. Yes, you're going to say that. You're saying that him playing bar table 8-ball is playing professional pool. Somebody who hates little tables. Actually, you don't hate little tables. I can't say that. But you're like, there's no chance that him playing on a bar table with 4.5-inch pockets is enough of a tune-up to go and play some of the best players in the world. There's no chance that he's playing.
Said he wasn't playing professional pool. I said
he's not playing. He's not playing anywhere. There's no chance that he is playing anywhere remotely close to the level he was playing at in 2018. No chance. There isn't. You cannot be that far away from constantly playing against the best players in the world and think that you're just going to pick it right back up and be like, "Yep, no time off." It doesn't work.
Next weekend, a 50 grand a man set against Lucas, Bergman and Lucas. Who wins it?
On Mosconi Cup conditions?
Yeah, nine ball, Bergman, Lucas, 50K a man, race to 90. Who wins it?
I think Bergman wins it.
Okay, so he's in the conversation. No, so he's in the conversation.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay.
However, I do not. Tomorrow, $50,000. Moritz Neuhausen and Justin Bergman.
Neuhausen.
Any of the 5 players on Europe.
Yes.
Any of the players on the.
I would say that about Tyler also.
Any of the yes.
Any of the US about Sky also. I'd say any one of the 5 would beat Sky as well at the moment.
Yeah. Well, sure, but you're also taking all 4 of the US players that are locked in over Justin Bergman. Again, you're working off of what you remember from 7 year ago. And a bar table tournament, all of the pros are going to make those things look silly. The only difference between a Tyler, Justin Bergman, the Matlock dude, the only difference between all of them is, did you make a ball in the break and did it happen to stay open, or do you have 6 balls tied up? On bar table 8 ball with 4.5-inch pockets, that ultimate the most difficult thing about that format is the clock. It's not the tables. They're going to run rack. Shane Van Boning ran 6 racks. I watched the match yesterday. He ran 6 racks of pool in like 21 minutes. They'll make those things look stupid.
I'm just saying he's active. He's playing.
He's not active. He plays 2 events a year, 5 events a year at most.
I will say that Justin would probably agree with you too, Nate. I saw Justin this past weekend. He was playing tin ball, and I had kind of joked with him about how people were name dropping him as a Mosconi candidate, and he just kind of laughed and scoffed. He's like, it's not even within the radar of where his mind has been at. I don't think he's just playing pool when he can and enjoying life. I think so. I would say that if you ask Justin himself, he probably has enough humility to agree with you there.
And beating the shit out of a bunch of players like me, almost 700 level Fargo players, does not a Mosconi Cup player make.
Right, absolutely.
Because it's not like those ultimate pool events are getting world quality players.
Mm-hmm. There's a comment there from Playpool 12. I don't know what that even means. Lucas, give him a chance. Same team gets old. I hear that. I hear that argument as well, saying, well, the same team, they lost last year. Why would they win this year? Well, because they're not playing against the same team. So that makes it all just very, very different. They're not playing against the same team. So yeah, if they were playing against the same 5 guys, I mean, Europe a couple of years ago, they went 2 years in a row with the same 5. Yes, then you change something up, kind of thing.
Here's something you and I can for sure agree on, Jim. I think, knowing you the way I know you, if the team was the same as if Europe's team was the same as last year, the decision would already be made, and his decision would be.
If the European team was the same as last year,
Sky's 5th pick would be, and it would already be made.
He would have to go with Oscar.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
We won't agree then. I figured. I think that the pick would be easy this year. I think it would be Lucas if the team was the same as last year.
Lucas would be my number 3 purely because it's in Europe. Because it's in Ali Pali. I just think that's too much of a risk.
Okay, so you're never picking Lucas no matter what.
No.
Okay. I think the pick is.
You know how I am. I've said it for many, 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 many years. Something very, very strange would have to happen for me to pick a rookie as a wild card. Something really, really, really weird would have to happen for me to pick a rookie as a wild card. I just don't see the risk as being the risk to reward. I just don't see it. It's like you said.
The risk.
Very, very rarely do rookies have a really good Mosconi Cup.
Well, that's why I think that the pick for Lucas, if Team Europe was the same, I think it would be obvious because the risk reward doesn't really change that much, right?
It's a risk to Lucas going forward if he gets absolutely mauled out there. Like I said, I don't know how strong the kid is mentally. I don't know how thick his skin is. I don't know if he's good under these situations or not. I know he's a good player, but I don't know how he handles these kind of a little bit hostile atmospheres. I really don't know. Maybe he's a badass and he can handle it quite easily and he doesn't give a shit. Okay, stick him out there. But if he's a little bit fragile, if he's not, if he's still, I don't say immature, but still just a little bit naive, perhaps within the pool world, it's not a good environment to stick him in. It really isn't a good environment to stick him in. Andy Downs is there saying Lucas plays better on the road than he does at home. Yeah, okay, but on the road is still, just the next state or a couple of states further. This is not a nice place to play pool if you're not playing very well. If you're losing and missing balls, it's the worst place you can be sat.
If you're playing well, it's not easy.
Even if you're playing well, it's horrible to sit there. If you're playing bad,
because then they're almost trying harder to get you off your game. They're saying even more rude stuff.
Yeah.
How do you prep for that? I mean, you guys have both played in pretty high level events, so like if you had
listen, I sit there. I'm not even sitting with my cue in my hand and I'm in that crowd and I'm thinking, wow, this is brutal. If you put me out there and gave me a European shirt on and a cue and says, go pot a couple of balls on that table with those people shouting at you, I'd look like a 300 Fargo, guaranteed.
Could you imagine like if they ever did something where like if you and I became actually like a big deal, Jim, and like you and I had to play a match out there with that crowd? Oh my God. Oh my God, Jim.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal, and I do feel for the players sometimes, and it doesn't come across on the TV as bad as it is when you're actually sitting there. There's a lot of stuff you don't actually hear over the television, whether that's deliberate with the sound, the sound equipment that they have there. But some of this, it's you can feel it. You can feel the tension in the air. You're even hoping. I've sat there, watching guys just sort of praying they don't miss the next ball, because they're just going to get absolutely battered by the crowd.
I've been to 7 Mosconi Cups at this point, I believe. I've been to every Mosconi Cup since 2028, minus the
since 2028. That's impressive.
Sorry,
You've gone backwards.
Well, technically, I have then because there hasn't been any yet. So sorry, 2018. So six Mosconi Cups, something like that. I think it's gotten worse as pools become more popular. I think the things that have been shouted have been worse. I think they're more vitriolic, and I think they're more demeaning. I think when I remember in 2018, 2019, don't get me wrong, there was still plenty of that stuff that was out there. But I feel like it was more silly, funny, like this. I mean, the thing that I guess I go back to, and I can say this because they both enjoy it as much as they possibly can, I think, given the feedback. But like the Skylar's mom stuff, like the entire crowd will sit there and they will sing to Deborah, and she just eats it up. She loves it. It's fun. Sky just laughs and giggles and whatever. And it was kind of like silly, fun loving stuff back in 2018, 2019. And I feel like the stuff now is like, it went from like Skylar's mom has got it going on to Sky. I think we all remember what was yelled out to Tyler, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jim? I'm saying this as
you're absolutely right, and I have noticed on both sides. I've heard the last couple of times it's been in the States. I've heard the comments becoming more and more personal, even from the American side. Kind of fat shaming Jason and stuff like that. And basically.
No, I know. I was there.
And that's kind of things you shouldn't be shouting.
They did,
and
they did.
I spoke to Jason after it, and it's these guys. It's like, I don't mind all that, but don't, they're being quite personal now, and it's very difficult for somebody like Jason not to turn around, even though he's on live TV and say, well, get your ass down here and say that, I'll knock the crap out of you. That's what he's thinking inside him, but he's bubbling. But okay, he handles it well. He turns it into a positive energy. But it's the main differences between the USA Mosconi Cup and the European Mosconi Cup is the time of the day it's played. In America, you don't really have the time for people to be absolutely hammered.
No, yeah, it's
11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Time,
people have been out late at night, so you're basically.
It was better last year. It was 1 last year, right? Because it was Florida.
That was a little bit later. Certainly the ones in Vegas were 11 o'clock.
Vegas were brutal.
So in Vegas you're out until like 5 o'clock in the morning, kind of thing. You're going back to your bed. You're getting a couple hours sleep. You're getting up, having a breakfast, stuffing a breakfast in, and you're back in there. So you're basically having your first drink probably on the way to your seat. Well, maybe the second.
Or you're up at 8 a.m., right? I think you and I did that twice, Jim.
Yeah, I know. But in Europe, it's you're going up to the venue for 7 o'clock. So certainly our group, we're in. So as soon as the pubs open, like at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we're in the bars playing some pool, having something to drink, get something to eat. So by the time it gets to 7 o'clock, we've had a fair few drinks, and then you notice other people in there that have gone even further, kind of thing, and they're already absolutely hammered as they're walking into the venue. So they're just waiting to get started, and it's right from the very beginning. They're just on total attack, kind of thing, and they're pissed, and they're when they're drunk, they're saying stuff that is further than what would be considered acceptable when you're sober.
The things that you'll say online with a keyboard in front of you, you'd never say to somebody's face.
Yeah.
And the things
then
that you say at the Moscow. Yeah. With that being said, the most people get kicked out in the first 10 minutes of the event, in the first 2 racks. That is when the most, like, if there's going to be 15 people getting kicked out of the crowd, which is probably high. Let's say realistically, there's about 5 people that get kicked out of each day's event on average. I would usually about 3 or 4 of them are in the first 3 to 4 racks.
Yeah.
Because they show up that freaking drunk and they're fired up, they're ready to go, they're ready to say stupid shit, and bye off you go.
Yeah.
Or they're playing the little whistles in the background every single time somebody gets down to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's the main difference. The fact in the UK one, people have been drinking for like 8 hours before they get there.
Yeah. Have you been to one, Shawn?
Yeah, I went to Florida last year.
Did I see you?
Maybe. I was.
Did I know you? I knew you by then.
Vaguely, yeah.
Vaguely,
I had accidentally, because I remember the ticket rush, like they sold out so quick, and somehow I got 2 front row tickets really easily, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" Well, it turned out that I had accidentally bought the handicap accessible seats.
So you showed up one day in a wheelchair.
I tried multiple times to reach out to them. I was like, "Hey, can I trade these for other seats where somebody actually needs these?" They just didn't comment. I touched base with Sky. I was like, "What do you think here?" He's like, "Well, just show up and see what they do." And yeah, they let me sit there. There was no complaints. It was pretty chill. So I had front row seats. It was nice.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
But that's one thing I want to mention. Last year, Mosconi Cup, and pretty much the last 5 Mosconi Cups in the USA, the rush to get tickets, and 2 weeks later, the announcement from Matchroom, we are sold out for all 4 days. It's now November. We haven't had that message from Matchroom. We're sold out. They haven't sold it. They haven't sold it out. And I think a big part of it is that it's just not. It's just not as attractive a Mosconi Cup in the Ali Pali as it is in the USA, and it's becoming. I personally would like to see them move away from the Ali Pali. I know it's a logistic thing and a financial thing.
Never
So
will.
it probably never will. But it's it's just not as nice, and I can understand that people are deciding not to. It'll be full by the time it comes around, but there's not been the rush for tickets the last 2 years for this one that there has been for the USA. Yeah,
I'm looking up tickets right now just to see what it looks like.
Well, a friend of mine asked me a few days ago. You know him, Big Kevin Dykstra. Said he decided he is going to come across, and he asked me what seats we were in. And I gave him the seats, and there was 4 seats beside us. We're still empty. So he took one of them. Yeah, so he took one of them. There was even
I got to put up with Kevin.
Yeah, there was even a group of 4 seats right beside us that were still empty. A group of 4. So imagine how many seats over the entire venue are still open.
Wow.
And that's a month before the event.
I wish more bars or pool halls or what have you would do more watch parties.
Well, hold on,
Maybe
because I don't want to
you
move
could
on
do
from this, because I feel like this is a backlash. Like, how many groups used to go, and I got burnt on this last year, and it infuriated me. How many, like, Jim, but when I first went to the Mosconi Cup and I met you, you had a group of what, like 12, 15 people? You used to buy 10, 15, you used to buy 10, 15, 20 tickets every single year. The moment I started going every single year, I started buying. The last year that I went, I bought 25 tickets that I was able to get them. And then I was trying to buy 100 tickets the next year to have a giant group, and I couldn't get them. All of those big groups that I know about, even the players, like Ashley, Sky's wife, she tried to get group tickets and couldn't get them. Like, how much do you think that had to do with where we're at right now, where all of these groups that used to go probably got burnt out, got pissed off about it, and just decided they weren't going to go anymore?
That's it. If we can't go with the group, we're just not going. That's it. We go with a group of 10 every single year. If you can't give us 10 seats together so as we can enjoy ourselves in our group, then we're not going to go.
And then it's become impossible to do that. Impossible.
And then they stop the season tickets, so you can't just go online and say I buy 1 ticket and it gets me all 4 days. You can't do that anymore. You've got to book all the 4 days separately. If one of those days you can't get a ticket, you think, well, I'm not going to travel to miss out on one of the days. Right, I'll sell my tickets online. I'm not going to go.
And you can't buy them all at once. You have to buy them individually. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
Yeah, you don't know until you've got them all whether or not you've got every day. We had it last year in Orlando. We were missing one day, and we had to, fortunately, we've got enough connections that we managed to get the tickets where we could, but it's not everybody has the same kind of connections that we have, and they're stuck with no tickets. I get every single.
We had to use every single connection we had between the two of
in
us
order
to
to
get
get
us
them. I get messages every single year. Can you get me tickets? Can you get me tickets? Can you get me tickets? Because but last year it was like, no, I'm struggling myself.
Last year was I think honestly the reason that they're at a big reason they're at where they're at is because they no longer allow that.
Yeah, the groups are not going. So if you have a group of 10 and they can't get tickets, then all 10 just don't turn up.
Yeah,
if I can't go in my group, I'm not going. Yeah.
If I'd have gotten my 100 tickets last year that I wanted for our group, I'm sure I would have did the same thing this year. And I wouldn't get 100 because a lot of the people that we had from last year obviously aren't going to go over to Europe. But I might have gotten 40. I haven't even tried to find any sort of group to go with anymore. And in fact, the only person that I sit with now at this point in time is you, Jim. And the only person that you sit with is me. And I will honestly say that the reason why I don't put together a group anymore is because it's impossible. You cannot get group tickets.
It used to be I would just send a message to a certain person and say, I need this amount of tickets. Can you sort me out?
2018,
no
2019. Yep.
No problem. I've got them for you. Just let me know.
Yep.
And that was it. And then I get sent a code and I would contact the ticket people and that would be it.
Yep. Same. And then 2022 that stopped? Something like that?
After COVID, really. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks. It really does suck because
I know. It's because that actually adds to the atmosphere as well. The more big groups you have there, or the more groups of say,
absolutely,
8 to 12, when you start singing as a group. That's when you get the songs and stuff like that. Instead of just random people just shouting random shit, you get groups of people actually singing a song to the players or whatever. And
each day we had like different we had like, I don't want to say uniforms, but when we had our group of 25, we had a different shirt for every single day. We had different themes for each day. I mean, we had fun with it.
Yeah, those days are past now. It's basically get individual. You can buy 6, I think, is the maximum you can get. So our group, the majority of them still go, but we can't get enough tickets in one group booking for everybody. So we're basically just said, let's just get what we can, and we'll see each other there
at the pub
during or after, or we'll see at the pub or whatever.
Yeah.
And we don't get to sit together because the maximum you can get is 6.
Takes a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a few that have turned around and said, well, if we're not all sitting together, I'm just not going to bother.
Oh, no, every single human being that I had in my group is like that now. They don't go to them anymore. Like we had a group that went every single year, and now that we can't sit together, they weren't.
I still get every year. I get more than what I need, just in case one of them turns around and says, you know what, I'm going to come down. If you've got a ticket for me, I'll come down. Then I've got a seat for them. I mean, we've got more than, Cookie wasn't going to bother. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to come down for a couple of days. Okay. Appleton wants to come along for 1 or 2 days. If I've still got a ticket, he can have that, and he'll come and sit with us.
Sure.
That kind of thing, But because every year somebody contacts me and says, oh, I'd really like to go to Mosconi. It's a last minute thing. Have you got a ticket for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. It's I wish that they would go back to the old way of doing things.
I think I would love to have this. Certainly see the season tickets again, where it's just one click and you have your 4 days.
Yeah. I would absolutely love that. And I would absolutely love being able to put together 25, 30, 45, 50 people in a group. And because I thought that was, one, it's great marketing for what we do, right? I mean, the having the queued up little network section, it was great marketing for what we're doing.
It makes a much better atmosphere.
It fills the seats. And I mean, it's like there were so many people used to come in our group that would never had come had it not been a community like it was. So I don't know. Maybe if they continue to grow the way that they want to, you don't really have this stuff in any other sport except for maybe baseball, where you see a lot of like bus trips for baseball, but not really so much for football games. I don't know. Who knows?
I'd like to see more watch parties at pool halls showing off the event. If Matchroom could ever or WT could ever get their streaming to be 100% reliable, I think it'd be cool to spotlight the pool halls and the crowds that are supporting the players. You see that in other sports all the time. I think that's a really good way to get, other areas involved and let them be part of the Mosconi experience without actually having to pay the price to be there live.
Just,
and the thing with these bar watch parties as well, you've always got other patrons that are in the bar who probably didn't come in for the pool, and they get involved in the atmosphere. And
keep in mind
that
keep in mind that all of the starting time for a lot of these things is noon in the US, right? So who the hell can have or wants to have a viewing party at noon?
Well, I guess in the weekends, these sports bars are filled with people that are in to watch the football.
Potentially,
games.
Yeah, potentially. But I mean, this year it's only Saturday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are all going to be at noon on a workday.
I mean, I still think you get a decent amount of people because a lot of people don't want to pay the subscription, even though it's only $10. But I mean, there's still something to be said that, hey, let's go up to Legacy Sports Bar and sit down and have a drink and watch the Mosconi. Like, I definitely think you could market to that. And then if Matchroom decided to, let's take a peek at Portage, Wisconsin, what's going on there? Everybody wave to the camera, like get them involved.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Right? Well, I actually suggested that to Emily when they did the one behind closed doors. I actually suggested that because I actually did do a watch party for that. And I had probably like 40 or 50 people that came to my watch party. And I suggested to Emily, I'm like, hey, I'll throw up a camera and live stream to you guys. And if you guys want to use any of that footage to just a show online of other places that were like streaming the event and had, big viewing parties. And I don't remember exactly what she said, but she really liked the idea, but she couldn't trust that somebody in those events would be doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And you're live streaming it to, it's one of the issues where, like, if somebody were to, I don't know, throw up some sort of
gangster signs,
Nazi salute or went streaking across the room.
I mean, somehow
there's no ramifications. They can't really do anything.
Like the NFL does it all the time. You see, I mean, how are they?
Well, the thing with that is they're putting, generally speaking, they're putting a camera extremely high up in the air, and they're shooting down on a crowd of 2, 3, 3 or 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8,
for like
sometimes 15 or 20,000 people
as well. Yeah, for 5 seconds as well.
Thousands and thousands of people. Even if somebody was doing something like that, you'd never be able to see them to begin with. Right?
And what they generally do is they put a delay on it as well, of like 5 seconds. So the people that are in the bar, when they come up on the TV in the bar,
it's been
the feed's already finished and it's been cut off. So anything they decide to do because they're on TV, it doesn't actually come on TV,
Or just give it a Mosconi 2026 hashtag or whatever, and then whoever's in charge of social media can just pick through the hashtag post and share it from there.
That'd be possible.
Well, I did it for the COVID one. I did a big video call on, I don't even know which platform I did it on anymore.
It was on Facebook.
It was on, and I did like 20 people, like kind of like this, and we were just went live and we just sat and watched the Mosconi Cup.
We just sat there and shit talked.
And just talking shit to each other.
Because the first day I live streamed my group to you, but the problem is we couldn't actually hear anything you guys were saying, and you couldn't. So.
Wonder how much you would have to pay. Like, if I could pay Matchroom to get a specific watch party license so that I could do my own commentary while watching the Mosconi, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, but they'll shut you off if you try to restream the Mosconi while it's playing. Like, you can't do that right now. What I'm saying is, if you could get a modified license where they would let you do that sort of thing, that would be pretty cool.
I don't think you'd like to see the price tag on that.
That'd be a lot. It'd be a fortune. Yeah. But you could, maybe make it back.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't risk it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to beat that dead horse. Anything else that we want to talk about for that?
No, we're kind of approaching there. We didn't really have much to talk about, and we managed to get one answer on the chat, and it was Billy. So Billy won the vote 1-0. Thanks for all your input, guys.
I think there was a few more than that. I think I saw Lucas or two, but
There has
probably
been
not wrong.
some recent social media drama that got hyped up yesterday, which, out of respect to the people involved there, I'm not going to dive too much into it. But I was
Ooh, that sounds like a
intrigued.
perfect cliffhanger to come back to right after this ad from Jacoby Custom Cues, which is awesome.
Ooh, Jacoby.
That ad
I
is
always love that
probably
ad.
it's like 3 years old.
Yeah, I know, but it just shows what they can. That was one of the Q of the year.
That was pretty nice, yeah.
Actually, no, I think that one got second place. Actually, I think, which makes no sense because it's 2 Qs. That, anyways, doesn't matter. I don't know. Oh, I want sushi too. Dang, that sounds really good. I don't know. Go ahead.
What
Throw
was your
yourself under the
cliffhanger?
bus, Sean.
What's all this going on Facebook?
Yeah, Sean, throw yourself right under the bus.
Yeah. No, so Christina posted a picture that said young, wild, and free. And then her Facebook started getting blown up, as you can imagine. And then she posted something else this morning trying to clear up, or I don't know if you would say clear up, but really confirm, I guess, and just kind of say, life happens, doesn't always mean that it's a bad thing. Sometimes one way to grow in terms of progression is that also mean a part in the process. But the reason that I did mention it was, do you think that'll affect Federer's mental focus, with that on top of all the other clout that comes with being as big of a name as he is in pool right now? Whenever it comes to, getting down on that shot. And we've talked about how people tend to be a little bit overly personal at shouting things. Do you see any of that becoming a factor at the Mosconi?
Well, you've just openly announced to all the European pool fans, you've just given them something to shout during Mosconi Cup.
I mean, it was going to happen regardless, I feel like, but yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about it, so I have no comment. I haven't seen any of the posts. I don't know, and to be honest, that's it's when people play in sports, when two known figures get together in a relationship, then it naturally becomes a little bit a kind of a public relationship, but
sure,
it's not really public. It's a private thing between the two of them. So
yeah.
I'm not going to make any comment on it. I don't. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. So
yeah, I definitely wish them
I ain't
the
touching
best.
that with a 10-foot pole, no matter what.
Yeah, no.
Except for wishing both of them the best.
Yeah.
No, I mean, whatever decision they've made, I hope it's a good decision for both of them. And if it means drifting apart, then
they'll both do just fine.
Yep, they'll be
absolutely.
fine.
Yep.
Might take a while. They'll both be just fine. They're both smart, talented, got a lot going for them. They'll be just fine.
Sometimes the pool life isn't the best life for building a relationship, especially if both of them are top players.
There aren't many. Can you think of any pool marriages that have been together long term that were both in the pool world like this?
Well, there's three quite public ones at the moment. You know, Christine and Feder, Tyler and
two now. Tyler and
well,
Margaret and Josh and Pia.
Yeah, Josh and Pia, and that's it. You know, and
contrary to popular belief, Albin and Yasmin are not married.
Yes,
Most
they're not
people
married.
don't know that.
Their brother and sister. That would be a little bit weird.
Most people actually don't know that. You'll be surprised how many people think that they are actually a married couple.
Just because they've got the same second name.
Yes.
But I can imagine. I can imagine it's a difficult relationship to balance when you're both doing that amount of traveling as well. You know, not all the events are at the same place all the time. You're not always. You can't always be completely supportive of each other because you've got to look after yourself to a certain extent while you're at these tournaments. I mean, I haven't done it, so I don't know. I could just imagine that you know, it's not for everybody. And anyone that goes into it, I only wish them the best. And if it hasn't worked out for Feder and Christina, that's none of our business, to be honest. And I hope if it is true that doesn't become a focus of people at Mosconi Cup, and they decide that that's an acceptable thing to start shouting.
That's true.
Yeah.
However,
it's not acceptable.
I will say that there is one thing that might be acceptable. If a bunch of old cougars want to scream to Fedor that they're available, I think that'd be really funny.
I think that something like that happened last year.
That'd be funny. What can I say? I think that'd be funny.
I've heard you're available, Fedor. Come get me.
I think last year I did see a sign that said, "Christina, let me borrow Fedor so we can have my babies," or something like that.
No, somebody shouted it. Somebody shouted something like, "Can you, Christina, if it's okay if I have your babies," or something like that. Or
yeah, we won't even say the things that are yelled at Tyler.
No.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like, actually, like, just all joking aside, like when you're looking at a married couple, or I mean, we're talking about relationships that are, I mean, obviously Fedor and Christina were never married. We're talking about them like they were, but they weren't, right? They were dating. So really, when we're saying couples, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to even put them in the category as Josh and Pia or Tyler and Margaret, but neither here nor there. Could you imagine how brutal it would potentially be to where, like, if Christina or, you know, Christina's, they're completely different tours. So, you know, Fedor might go on like a 3-month basically Asian trip. And it's very possible that he might come back right as Christina goes on a 2, 3, 4 week WPBA trip, or, you know, whatever it is. It's possible that you might not even see each other for like 3 or 4 months. And then you have to potentially take on the because let's be real, this is a really, really, really hard industry to make a living at. And it's very possible. Yeah. It's very possible that, you know, Fedor could be playing the best pool of his life and go 6 events without cashing enough to even cover his expenses. Could you imagine the conversation of coming home after 3 months and not seeing your significant other and basically being like, I didn't make any money, I'm broke. How am I going to get to my next event? Or both ways, right? And then we're talking about Fedor, which he won plenty enough money, I would think, last year to last a little while. Not that I'm ever going to question somebody's wallet. But I really don't want to start naming like specific names, but you could end up going 6 or 7 months without making a cash worth having. And then you come home to a wife that's like, well, great. You left with 30,000 on this trip, and now you're broke because you made nothing. How just the finances of a relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's the extra pressures, you know. There is no real financial stability for a pool player, you know.
No.
So when you're,
especially if you don't have good sponsors.
When your household is based on 2 pool players potentially, you know, it puts a strain on both, you know. And it's, you notice it with Josh. Josh has made certain decisions on the events he'll play and won't play, and a lot of those decisions, I think, are based on where will Pia be at that time of year. You know, where is Pia? What events is Pia playing? All right, I'm going to play the events that coincide with those events. You know, and make their calendar together to make sure that they can spend as much time with each other as possible. And that doesn't really suit the Matchroom WNT Pro schedule kind of thing. But he does what's best for his relationship, and I feel like it's not for everybody.
But I do think that we're also kind of entering a new era of pool players where your business isn't just winning pool tournaments now. It's also how you market and brand yourself as a player. Now you have influencers who are probably making, quite a bit of money just off their name alone. You see Federer out there. Christina's got her own stuff going. Sky's got his
player, influencer. I can verify this because I made dozens of dollars last year.
Dozens, like 2 dozen at least.
Plural dozens.
Sam is, he's got a lot of cool stuff that's coming out, and it's really cool to see what, he's got a lot of support. I think Sam could be the future of, pool player influencers. I mean, that's definitely an opportunity. I think he's kind of learning a lot from how Federer's carrying his brand.
I think you're pronouncing his name wrong. What did you call him?
Which one? Sam?
The person you're talking about.
Sam?
No, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's not Sam. It's Tracy.
Oh,
Tracy, who you're talking about there. Yes. Yeah, you're pronouncing Sam's name wrong. It's not Sam. It's Tracy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I always wonder if she's the one typing his Facebook statuses.
It's Tracy. You're pronouncing his name wrong. It's Tracy.
Good job, Tracy. She actually messaged me last night. She's like, hey, can you put an under construction on Sam's website? Because we're not ready for that to be live. Apparently, they've been getting messages about products. I'm like, ew, yeah. Here, let me fix that real quick.
Yes, Sam is learning to become a little bit more independent, but let's not give Sam credit for what Tracy has done. Sorry, Sam. You're welcome, Tracy. Okay, go on. Finish.
No, I'm good. But yes, I do think that it is wise on Tracy and other pool players' parts to be building their business around more than just their ability to win a pool tournament.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Facebook ad money continues to come in month after month. Prize purses don't.
Yep.
And behind every single, behind every successful Facebook page in the pool world, usually is somebody like a Tracy who is behind the scenes that doesn't get credit for it, but is really the one doing it.
I pulled Jason up on his post and said, "You're not making them anymore. Ara's doing that." And Ara's doing all his. So the spelling's way too good. I can understand what the post means. It can't be you that's doing it.
Yeah, believe it or not, most players that do social media, or most players aren't good at social media.
No.
And most people who are good at social media don't play very good pool.
No. No.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, having people you look at these boxers and you like somebody comes out for like a heavyweight fight and they're followed by like 13 freaking people. That's how big a lot of these teams are, generally speaking, when you're working with this kind of money. The golfers usually have their own, dietitian, their own trainers, their own swing coaches, their own mental coaches. They got teams of 5, 6, 7 people behind them. Pool is one of the only sports because there's just not resources in it. There's not enough money behind it, but there's just generally speaking, you go on the road with whoever yourself, and maybe every now and then you'll bring your wife along if they're not a player, but for the most part, you're traveling those hotel rooms by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lonely sport. I got nothing.
No, I got nothing else to go on. There's been
the only thing.
A lot happened. Yeah.
The only thing else that I have is I tried to upload this video last week so that we can play it. It's the 21 questions with Mika, and it didn't upload in time last week before we were done. So I think it's fitting to do it now if you guys are okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's about a 5-minute long video. It's obviously got audio, so anybody who listens to the podcast with audio only, you're not going to get to see it, but it's on the Cue It Up Network page on Facebook if you would like to go there and check it out. But you're still going to get the audio for it, so you're still going to be able to hear everything he says. So let me play this video quick, and then we'll chat on the other side.
One like this.
Yep, one like this. We're here with Mika. What's going on, Mika?
Not much. Just waiting for a one pocket match.
We're jumping right in. We're not even going to give you any context. We're just going to start asking you questions. Ready?
Okay.
Juice or soda?
Juice.
If you were not a pro pool player, you would be a?
be a professional archer.
A professional archer. Okay. With a 1 week free vacation anywhere in the world, you're going to?
Greece.
Greece. Okay. Gonna go hang out with Alex.
Maybe.
Cats or dogs?
Islands. That's a tough one. Used to be dogs. Now I'm like, cats are like taking over.
Sure. Who is your biggest influence?
That's a really tough one. I'd say maybe Bustamante.
Boosty. Okay, I like it. One person, you can choose any person to shoot a spot shot for $1 million. Who are you choosing?
Right now, probably like Joshua Phillip.
Josh. Okay. How many hours a week do you train?
I do probably like 25 hours on the table, but then I do physical training, gym. So
What is your go-to meal during a pool tournament?
I like sushi if it's decent, but I'm also a sushi snob, so if it doesn't make the cut, I'll choose something else.
Is there a pool room in the country that passes your sushi test?
No.
See, I don't think I can think of
It's not
one.
going to be in the pool room.
Sure. So what's your favorite
I'm doing a
food?
burger here. It's really good.
Is it?
Yes.
Favorite food?
Well, sushi.
Sushi. Okay. What is your favorite win in your career?
I would say has to be the first World Championship,
First World Championship?
2001.
What was your toughest loss? Besides not getting that fly?
Toughest loss. Oh, I didn't know I was getting prize.
You didn't want prize?
I do prize. A really tough one was sudden death, like last track against Efren, Challenger champions, $50,000 winner take all. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks.
That's tough. That seems like it would fit. Okay. If you could take any partner in the world in a Scotch couples partner, who are you taking?
That's interesting. I never thought of that. I think Sky would be fun to play with.
Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he's just, fast. He's,
You guys have a pretty similar playing style.
yeah, it's like, we're both aggressive.
Don't waste any time.
I would definitely trust it. But he's, whatever he chooses to do. I think we've had mutual respect.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Let's say, what's her name? Jennifer, the one from...
Jennifer Aniston.
No, not Jennifer
Oh,
Aniston.
Jennifer Beretta.
No. I'm talking like, Hunger Games, Jennifer.
Oh, sure. Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
Yes, Jennifer Lawrence. Okay. One player you hate to play against, one player you love to play against.
I like playing against Alex Pagulain. Not because it's like I don't like to draw him, but
He's funny.
no, well, it's not about that. He's very serious when he plays, and then he doesn't goof around, but he's also respectful, and it's always a big challenge. And we both have a good amount of respect for each other, and there's no stupid stuff going on. And I don't like playing against Joshua Phillip.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think you're alone there. All right.
I'll still let him make the spot shot.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You can respect somebody and not want to play against them, right? Okay. What's your favorite sport other than pool? Yeah.
What's up?
Favorite sport other than pool?
Tennis.
Tennis.
I like watching tennis.
Sure. Scuba diving or skydiving?
Scuba.
Scuba diving. Do you have any kids
No,
that you know of?
not that I know.
If you could win any event in the next calendar year, what event you win?
I would like to win the Mosconi Cup because that would mean that I would also snap off something else to get there on the team.
Sure, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer. That means you probably won the U.S. Open at this
Yeah,
point, right?
Yeah, it comes with other
Yeah.
benefits.
It's a pretty good chance. Okay. Who is on the Mount Rushmore of pool players?
I would have to say this is, Earl and Efren.
Earl and Efren.
Earl and Efren for sure. And I would probably have to go with the old timers because we're talking like basically forefathers of the pool, like in big influences. So might even be Bustamante in the mix.
Boosty.
And somebody else with great influence to the sport would probably be. I feel a little bad for not like saying Mosconi and Greenleaf and all those guys, but it's guys that I've played
Sure.
with and against. Maybe Steve Mizrak.
Steve Mizrak. Okay. So then, who is your greatest of all time?
Efren.
Last question. What is your best advice you can give to the next generation?
Stay away from your, too much on your phones and playing video games, and concentrate on things that are like more active, more physical, and hand-eye coordination, or
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there that is. Mika, thanks.
Thanks.
Was that at Racks on the Rocks, or were they just like a
was.
sponsor over in Peoria?
Yep, it wasn't Racks on the Rocks. It was maybe 3 years ago. I think we did that interview.
Did you see they got new owners there?
I did not.
Yeah, so cool place though. It looked a little bit different. I was like, looked a little bit lighter. That must have been during the day.
I don't know. I was drunk at that point, so I doubt it.
Cameo appearance by Sky. Saw that. That was cool.
Something like that, yeah. Well, I guess that's really all I got for this episode. Jim, anything else you want to throw out there?
No, we didn't have. We didn't really have a lot to talk about. Wasn't a lot happened since we were last on. It's a waiting game now, really, isn't it? To see what Sky decides as far as the Mosconi Cup goes, and then the build up starts. The trash talk starts, and and then and then me and Nate go and sit and bicker like little bitches at each other for 4 days. Yeah.
To be fair, we probably would do that just about anyways, but
Yeah, but
we do it in purpose.
At least they will be face to face, and we'll drink a beer in between.
Yeah. We'll be holding hands next to each other, cuddled up on a couch, maybe.
Are we doing cute up shirts again? You've still got my cute up shirt, haven't you? Did you get it back?
I got one of them back.
Yeah, all right. Bring it
I
with
don't
us.
know. I don't know where the other one made it to.
While we're on the subject of queued up shirts, maybe mention, we're at a little over 17,000 followers on Facebook, and we kind of touched base briefly about what we would do once we hit 20,000, maybe give away some swag. I did get one of the queued up shirts autographed by Bergman over the weekend, so that would be part of it.
Yeah, we need to come up with some sort of giveaway for 20,000 followers. I haven't really actually tried to grow our following now for probably like 3 years, if not longer. So maybe it's time to do that again, and I'll give away some swag. Got lots of t-shirts, hoodies. Maybe I'll even give away some cues. I could do that probably.
Yeah.
Something. I could give away 1 free night of drinking with Jim.
But you have to pay for it.
Well, I kind of figured that would be your contribution, Jim. You don't contribute that much. We'll come up with some pretty cool prizes. Shawn, that'll be our project for the next week.
Cool.
That and getting our website finished up so that
that's coming along. People will be able to order merch off your website very soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a time consuming I did the easy part. Now it's getting carpal tunnel, Nate.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing great.
Thanks, buddy.
Think you're doing great. All right, well, let's leave it there then. I do want to. I guess I do want to say there's always ways to support the podcast. I need to get better about doing this. Probably if you like what we're doing, and you like that we're finally back after about a year hiatus, and you want to see us continue to stay back, there are ways to support the podcast to show that you love us. In the description of all the podcasts, we have the Patreon page that you can go and subscribe to if you would like to. On my personal page, I do a lot of raffles and stuff like that allow me to continue doing what I'm doing here. So if you like yourself a raffle every now and then, you can always jump into those. I have one currently live right now where I'm giving away a winner's choice of a Jacoby Custom Q, a Viking Q, a Q-Tech Q, 2 Lucasi Qs. And yes, that is it. So, winner's choice on any of those. So if you win the raffle, you get to choose whatever Q you want, and some of them come with extensions and other little other little goodies. So, that's another good way of supporting what we're doing over here at the podcast. You could also give Jim a follow. He really likes it when people heckle him on his posts that he makes. That's a good way of doing things. Shawn, if you're looking for a website being built, Shawn is your guy. I know that we said that last week, and I think we had 2 people that have reached out trying to get some website work done. So that's a good way of supporting Shawn. Is there a better way to support you, Jim? What's the best way to support you?
Come to Mosconi Cup and buy me beer.
Come to Mosconi Cup and buy me beer. There
How much
you
is
go.
beer at the Mosconi in London? Is it
Nothing. Nothing for me if people come to Mosconi Cup and buy me beer.
Okay, fair enough.
Is it like £6?
Depends where you go. I don't really know.
Oh, when's your Netherlands event again, Chip?
Sorry?
When's your Netherlands event? Don't you said that was coming up?
Oh, yeah. Friday. I go for 10 days to Ireland for the European Championships.
So will we not have you next week then?
You know what? Depending on what I'm doing and where I am and if I'm available, I might jump in on my telephone and just say hello and give you a walk around the event.
Cool, that'd be awesome.
People really care about it. Yeah.
Well, best of luck.
I might just be sitting in the bar. I might just be sitting in the bar drunk, which is entertaining as well.
Yeah. Okay, well then let's leave it there. Those are the ways that you can support us. Also, just liking and subscribing and sharing the podcast is a great way of doing so too. So with that being said, let's jump off and sign off for the week.